Hey everyone, it's Alex with Lover Fighter Writer, and I'm joined today on the podcast by JeanetteMusic, who is a professional musician, artist, and streamer on Twitch. Jeanette, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
So how long have you been streaming on Twitch?
It will be 3 years this February.
Wow, so so lots of ample time to get experience on there, but you're still relatively new to the platform compared to a lot of people.
Yes, definitely.
And when were you able to, or I guess how long ago were you able to go full time as a musician and artist?
So that happened in September, this past September. Yep, of 2021.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so still new to that as well.
Yeah, and what were like the big changes? What were you doing before that?
I was actually a respiratory therapist. So I was working 3 to 4 nights a week at a hospital. And then I was streaming on my days off from the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it just got to a point where it was like, okay, I have to choose a career path. And music is something I've always been so passionate about that I had to go with music.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What made you pick Twitch as your primary platform?
Well, I feel like Twitch has a really great way of bringing communities together, which I didn't really feel other platforms had or even still have really now at the time, especially for musicians and musicians who, don't have a following anywhere else. Because I just like hopped on Twitch and just grew organically from Twitch. So I didn't, come from another platform or didn't have a following anywhere. So I feel like as it stands now, Twitch does a really good job of helping, smaller artists and content creators grow.
Yeah, it's definitely very community driven on Twitch.
Yes.
So that's
Agreed.
it's awesome that you were able to find some success there.
Yeah.
Now, I think in your stream recently, I heard you talking about things like merch and other business ventures that are attached to your content creation. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So this year, we're hoping to launch a merch store and have more merch to offer. We did one small merch launch last year just to kind of test it out, and it was absolutely insane to run that by myself. So I think we're going to launch a merch store this year. We're also going to be recording and producing and releasing 14 songs out this year. So that's going to be starting actually next week. We're going to be hopping into that process, which I'm super excited about because I haven't been able to put out music in a couple of years.
That's great. I wasn't aware of the upcoming recordings. That's really exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
And when we're talking about merch, is it like just shirts, or are you doing other kind of printable stuff?
Yeah, so definitely shirts. But we've also kind of thrown around the idea of like doing coffee cups because, as you know, I love my coffee. Big coffee mugs are just my thing. And and also we just recently bought a 3D printer. So we've been playing around with that. Which that is a whole other ball game in itself. So we've been playing around with that and would like to do like, some small keychains to be able to send to people.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah.
So if we're thinking about someone who's in the position that you were in, I guess not that long ago, like 6 months ago, or maybe a year ago or something, someone who wants to try and go full time as a musician or artist, what advice would you give to them?
To stay focused and know what your goals are. I think that was the one thing that kept me going, is that I always had the goal in mind of being a full-time musician. And, if being a full-time musician on Twitch, if that's what you want to do, make connections, network, figure out, a great schedule for yourself and your community, and, stream as much as you can and put out content as much as you can. And don't get discouraged, when things don't go your way, the first few tries, because they rarely do. And just put in the work, and things will start to happen. But I think, as most content creators know on Twitch, there's not a great algorithm for us there. So it's really just, putting in the work and just waiting for things to happen, just being patient.
Yeah, definitely. Not getting discouraged, I think, is a good piece of advice for anyone who wants to get into any kind of business.
Yes, for sure. Yes. I would definitely say, especially for, musicians and artists, that's what we do. But most of us aren't businessmen. So that's been like the other, learning curve is figuring out how to run a business and, juggling all of that stuff on top of being an artist first.
Absolutely. So what are the most important skills that you think that you rely on to kind of make this all work?
For myself, I'm a very hard worker. There aren't many days in the week that I, take completely off. I'm always working on something. I definitely believe in like the power of positive thinking. So I always, keep a positive mindset, even if things, don't go the way I was hoping. And I always have some sort of goal or multiple goals in mind, to kind of keep myself in check and see where I am and see where I'm going. And that way, even if things, we don't grow as fast or, whatever it might be, I still am accomplishing things on the side.
Nice. Yeah. So I know that you use stream elements in your stream.
Yep.
Are there any other tools and resources that you use and recommend?
Yeah, so I definitely recommend Stream Elements. I was definitely, when I first started on Twitch, I used Streamlabs because that's what was more popular at the time. But definitely once we made the switch, because my husband is really good with technology, I am not there yet. But when we made the switch, I was like, oh my goodness. So I definitely, Stream Elements is super easy. I would highly recommend it. Other things that I use, I would definitely recommend a camera. I know some people, I've, chatted with some people, they don't like to be seen, but if you're going to be a content creator, you should probably have a camera, but it doesn't need to be a nice one. I started out with a Logitech camera. It was like $15 on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And then there's various things, as a musician, I've got, a mixer and a looper and a keyboard. And then for like editing, I use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit, YouTube videos and such. And yeah, there's just so many things.
Yeah. There's always a lot of stuff. Sounds like we use some of the same tools. So one thing that I really enjoy about your streams and your Discord as well is just how engaged your community is. Do you have any kind of like strategy that you put in place to kind of make that happen?
I, from the start, was just always interested in the people who came to my streams. So, people would come in and we would chat, get to know them, get to know, where they live. Because as we know on Twitch, there's people who live all over the world that are entering your channel, and just really getting to know your community. And some of the people in my community are some of my closest friends. We chat almost every day, especially, the mods in my channel. We're all very close and work very well as a team. But it's really important. I think sometimes people forget. I don't look at them as like fans or followers. They're a family, and they're people who really care about what I love to do. And we hold community nights. We every Friday is a community game night. Every Friday afternoon, the VIPs and mods, we all get together. We have coffee. We chat, for like an hour before stream, and it's just a time where we can all relax, hang out, get to know each other. And I think that's the most important part if you want to be a successful, creator in 2022, is knowing your audience and really knowing and caring about your community.
I agree. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So I know that you have a pretty clear goal on Twitch right now.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a bit about that and what you're doing to make it happen?
Yeah. So currently we are on a partner push, and we officially reached the 75 viewership, which we were all super excited about. But we're continuing that for probably another month or so, to keep viewership up and meet new people. So I would be so excited if we were picked for partner. I think it's a great way to open doors. Create a stream team, easier to run charity events, which we are all about, with my community. And yeah, I'm super excited to see what the next month will hold.
Nice. Yeah. So I think you just answered my next couple questions there after that, actually. So let me just ask, is there anything else that you want to kind of discuss on this podcast?
For anyone, who's listening and they want to be a full-time content creator, whether you're wanting to be a full-time musician or full-time gamer or variety streamer, is to just keep going and join communities that fit with you, and learn and take feedback, because none of us are perfect, and I'm always wanting to learn more of how I can better myself, as a content creator, as a musician. So take feedback and run with it, and keep learning and put in the time, and it'll all come together.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen for you pretty soon. The way that you're driving at your goals is very enviable, and I think that you've got a lot of exciting things coming in this year and beyond. Yeah,
it's going to be a crazy year for sure.
All right. So I know that you're on twitch.tv/JeanetteMusic, JeanetteMusic, right?
Yep.
What other platforms are you on?
So you can find me on YouTube, and it's youtube.com/JeanetteMusic. I'm on Spotify as JeanetteMusic as well. Amazon Music, the same. And basically any streaming platform, you can find either cover videos or I released a 5-song EP a couple years ago. That's on all streaming platforms.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize that you were on Amazon Music. I'm going to have to check that out at some point because I have that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So if I ask Alexa to play me JeanetteMusic, then will that work?
I think so. I think we tried it and it did work once.
That's really cool.
I don't know about now, but at one point it did.
Awesome. That's all the questions that I have. So thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.